Alrighty, that'll wrap it up on the 11 through 20
That's
list.
a lot.
Let's move on to our top 10 in our small forwards. At number 10, we have Mr. Brokenback from the Denver Nuggets, Michael Porter Jr. At number 9, we have from the New York Knicks, OG Anunoby. At number 8, from the Utah Jazz, we have Larry Markkinen. At number 7, from the Toronto Raptors, we have Scotty Barnes. At number 6, from the Philadelphia 76ers, we have Paul George. At number 5, from still the Miami Heat for now, Jimmy Butler. At number 4, from the LA Clippers, Kawhi Leonard. Number 3, from the Boston Celtics, Jaylen Brown. At number 2, from the Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker. And at number 1, the GOAT, season 22? 20, 21, 22, LeBron James. I think we start from the top.
LeBron James.
Jeez, we start in the top for this one.
Just
we
doesn't
all
make
had
sense, man.
we all had LeBron number 1.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't even want to. Yeah, I don't even want to say the question like, is this the final year he's at number 1, or are we just until he retires he's up here?
I don't know that I don't know that anyone's gonna pass him up. The only weird thing is like, because we did these lists the way that like we did them.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a small forward? Is he a power forward? It's kind of a toss up because they are going to start with Rui, it looks like, next to him. But, you know, the talks of Anthony Davis at the 5 never seem to last that long. So we might see AD back at the 4 and LeBron at the 3. So that's kind of why we landed with him as small forward. If he was a power forward, do you think he'd be number 1 still?
No. He'd be number 2.
Okay, that was my question.
He'd be number 2.
Maybe number 3.
No, he'd be number 2. No spoilers.
No, I'm
So,
saying,
yeah,
like, come
wanted
on.
not to
Everyone
spoil.
knows who's in the fight for 1-2 in the power forward.
I just gotta say though, like, you said about the center thing. He might probably by the end. Clint Capella in the Lakers.
Yes, he would be ranked number 1 in the centers.
Oh no, not that. No.
LeBron would be number 4 for the centers, maybe.
I think he'd be 3.
Number 4, who'd be 3?
Oh yeah, no, we're not saying that yet. Just hold on. Stop skipping ahead to the other positional rankings. Making me lose control.
Here's the fun thing. Okay, let's go the other way. Would LeBron James be the number 3 point guard? 4.
No,
He'd be number 4.
He'd be 4.
Would he?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like we're just
I
talking
don't
about
know, man. He'd be like.
He'd be
I don't
4
know,
in point
man.
guard. He'd be 4 point guard, 3 shooting guard.
I don't
That's what I
know,
think.
man.
What is the? I don't know.
I don't know. He'd probably be like the lowest 2 on the point guards.
Just so
Probably
where
even
everybody knows, our rankings for point
Yeah.
guards were Lucas, Steph, SGA, Brunson, Maxey. Shooting guards: Ant, Mitchell, Kyrie, Mikal Bridges, and Desmond Bane. I think I'd say 4 point guard, 2 shooting guard. Oh, I'd probably say 3 shooting
There's
guard.
only
Right.
one player out of all the ones you named that I would take over LeBron. His name's Steph Curry.
I don't think that we watched the same SGA last year. Like
SGA was good, but SGA LeBron.
No.
Give me
No,
LeBron.
SGA was
Yeah,
great.
give me
He was
LeBron
like-
though. Give me
was number 3 on
LeBron.
the MVP.
You gotta take name out of, because this is what you guys did with Steph that I had to
I know.
debunk.
I
in the
know.
point guard
I
list.
watched him.
You have to take the name out of it. All right. SGA is a near. Was he a 30-point scorer this year? Right.
He was.
Mhm.
Yeah, 30-point scorer while giving you elite defense and play creation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I love LeBron. All right. He's my GOAT. All right. I don't
He
hate
might
anything
be the
about him.
GOAT.
But okay,
I'm just,
No, I
that's
think
my-
it's kind of
Mm.
I'm trying to go to that point of like
you're wrong.
the fact that he is number 1 or top 5 in every position
at what
That's
age?
not because of him. That's because of the world we live in today.
at year 22.
The world we live in today is different.
You mean like the most talented NBA? we've ever
No,
had?
they take care.
Yeah.
Athletes take care of their bodies more than they ever have.
Well, I mean, if you're not,
That's
if you're
what I'm
not
saying.
smoking, if you're not smoking cigars and gambling until 4 a.m. and then
Well,
playing,
yeah,
18
it was a
golf,
different time.
right?
That's all I'm saying. Ripping cigs
I'm just
too,
saying.
doing cocaine in the locker room. The Bulls before Michael Jordan.
Well, that'll. Okay,
With
well,
Michael Jordan.
yeah. So,
I
like,
got
I
that.
guess my question is, because I reiterate, Booker and Jaylen Brown are 2-3 in our rankings.
Yeah.
Do you see anybody who has a chance to overtake him this season?
This season?
This season, yeah.
Could.
You think Booker
I know he's
could?
on a loaded team, but I think that I love Jaylen Brown. His game is
Your rank does not show that you love Jaylen Brown.
okay. Fair enough.
I'm gonna
Just
say no.
I like Jaylen Brown, but I don't think I would say he could get there. I think Booker is probably the only one, or like if Kawhi Leonard's healthy for a whole season, like.
Which he's already not.
But if you had Kawhi Leonard for 75 games this year, and he
But
put up
he's not-
Kawhi Leonard
Dude,
stats.
Dave, he's already hurt.
I know.
He's already hurt, so he's not playing.
He's never
75
not
games.
hurt. That's
Let's
what I'm saying.
debunk that one. All right,
Okay.
all the stuff I hear about Embiid should be towards Kawhi. Kawhi hasn't played a healthy playoff run in 3 years. He just doesn't play.
Exactly.
He gets
Preach.
hurt and then he doesn't play.
Preach.
I have Kawhi high because Kawhi is one of the most talented players of the last decade. All right,
Yep.
off of respect, I'm putting him up there. I can't put him below the names below him. I can't out of respect because when he played last year, he was amazing. He was unbelievable when he played
You had
last
to
year.
say when.
Who's had a higher peak? Who's had a peak that could rival, like
LeBron
and
Steph.
playoff Jimmy Butler?
No,
The
No,
answer,
I legit think that out
Yeah,
of
but
this
no.
playoff Jimmy Butler was the highest performance.
out of one.
The small forwards, like
But
his finals run
no, I'm saying like out of what's the timeline we're looking at here?
last couple of years.
Because his finals run
Miami
was 4
Heat,
years.
Jimmy
ago.
Butler is
years?
what you're saying?
4 years.
Damn.
2020.
No, they had 2.
Oh, you're right. It's 2021. No, it's 2020. Yeah, last year's. Yeah, no. I mean the one where Caleb Martin was going off every other game.
Point being, they had two really good performances from Jimmy Butler in the playoffs, where like he was the only guy who could put up numbers, kind of at the same level or volume. I don't
Mhm.
think he's gonna be that guy, so that's why I'm like, I don't think he could jump it. I don't know. I genuinely don't see a guy on this list who could jump LeBron James next year.
I was
The
gonna
only
say,
way
right,
LeBron's not number one is if he retires.
I was gonna say right because like
There's
look- you
one
look at-
there's one guy and you nailed it, Jake, but there's one caveat.
Yeah.
If I can get 2016, 2017 or 2015, 2016 Kawhi where he's out there for at least 70 games, and yeah,
We're
if
talking
not,
a decade
no.
ago.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like Kawhi's got to play. He's got to
Yeah.
play.
No,
And I
but
know
that's-
people are going to say, well, Ricky, you played 68. That's close. But it's like, unless I get the Kawhi that was finishing, top 2, top 3 in the MVP, then no.
But I will say this: I think Kawhi. I think if we're going from Kawhi's last finals run, right, with the
Mhm.
Raptors,
Mm-hmm.
I think Kawhi has the 2 highest peaks because the
Yeah.
Raptors peak and then the conference finals peak where he got hurt against the Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 years, he was untouchable. Right, he was the best wing defender in the league.
Okay, I'll say that if we get Toronto, I'll even say, if we
Oh
get
yeah, that's
Toronto,
not going to
Kawhi,
happen though. Yeah, that's not going to
Yeah.
happen.
He played 60 games there, which people are going to say, Ricky, you played more games this
But
year.
it's not
But it's
even
like,
it's not even about like him playing games. It's just about him being healthy when the playoffs come around.
yep.
Right? Because every year it's the same. It's the same conversation we'll have in the center section about Embiid. Right? It's the same thing. We know how great the player is.
Yep.
We know how much talent they have. They are hurt currently, and we have them 4th. Right?
Four
Like that's how good he is.
4 playoff games in the last 2 years. And 1 second, you said we have him 4th?
Oh, yeah, Ricky, where do you have Kawhi?
I am 6th, almost 7th, because I can't here's my top 5: LeBron, Booker, Brown, Butler, George. I can't have him above any of those guys because he doesn't play, and he doesn't play when it counts in the playoffs. I don't care how good you are. You need to play when it matters. Paul George played when it mattered.
I mean, he played. He was there.
Yeah, he
did
played.
attend games.
He played
He was
when
2
it mattered.
games. He was fantastic. But that's 2 more games than Kawhi, I guess.
I'll be honest. I almost put Scotty Barnes and Lowry over him, but I couldn't at the end of the day because it is Kawhi at the end of the day.
But if he had, well, I'll ask you this, Dave, because that actually is a good point. If he has another injury-riddled season and Lowry continues his upward trajectory and Scotty continues his upward trajectory, I don't think that's that unreasonable thing to say if it continues for another year. Let me say.
I will say Scotty could be
Oh,
in that
he
same
won't.
territory.
He
Not
won't admit Lowry. He won't admit
No, I
Lowry.
won't.
Because guess what? What's Lowry won? Nothing.
So neither is Scotty Barnes.
Right. But Lowry
Neither
has
is
been
Devin
on-
Booker.
Well, Devin Booker made to a
Neither
finals.
has Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
None of
made
these
2
guys have
finals.
won. That's not winning anything.
That is winning. He won a conference.
No. Sorry,
Devin
we're not
Booker won
doing
a
that.
conference then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that's
not
okay.
doing that. We're not doing that. That's not winning anything.
Only
Nobody
one-
goes.
What?
Nobody goes. He Charles Barkley. He won a conference though. He won a conference.
Don't forget
No,
about
what do
Malone
they
and
say?
Stockton.
Well,
They won
the
a
less
lot of
the
conferences.
less said about those two.
Hey,
the less said
they
about
won
those
2
two.
conferences.
It aged poorly. Yeah.
That's why I always say, and again, with the media, the narrative stuff of like you didn't make past the second round. I don't care about making past the second round if you don't win the finals.
Mhm.
Right?
I do.
Your goal is to win the finals. All right, and especially if you're going to be this upper echelon of a player, where people put Jimmy Butler. Like I have Jimmy Butler high because he's a great player,
Yep.
right? That I'm not arguing about. But the people that they want to put him up there with Kawhi and LeBron and continue talking about, he's not there because he's never won anything.
Yeah, but he's slightly worse Kawhi Leonard.
I
That's pretty good.
Can I just
That's pretty good.
Why in none of our rankings before this, none of the other two we've talked about, like, oh, this guy has won something.
Win.
Magically,
Yeah.
it's an issue here. Like,
No,
oh,
it's
man,
because
like,
LeBron James.
it's because
No
we
one
started.
has lost more finals than LeBron James.
Yeah, but
it's
that
because we
does
started.
nothing to
Actually, no, I take that back. I think
Ricky
somebody
is
has.
somewhat right, but we started talking about peaks, and that's why.
okay.
We diverged from this upcoming
Okay,
season.
I was looking like at the rankings at like why, and I'm like,
yeah. No,
It
you're right.
doesn't matter about winning what you've won. It's
This is
what
listen.
player
When
you
Dave,
are.
when Dave and I start getting going, it's gonna
Okay.
happen sometimes where we just start.
Yeah.
We just start talking. But you're right. Okay, let's retrack ourselves going into this season, not legacy. Let's go into this season. All right. Jimmy Butler, Kawhi Leonard, Jaylen Brown, Devin Booker, LeBron, top 5.
Yeah.
I would say like out of the next 5, I'm going to exclude Michael Porter Jr. because just no shot he's up there. Paul George, Scotty Barnes, Lowry, and OG. Lowry and Scotty, I kind of see on that upward trajectory. Paul
Mhm.
George, his numbers are going to come down a bit this year because he's not going to have as much volume as he has in the past. He's not going to have as much usage as he does in the past. So, like, I don't know whether you rate that positively or negatively. You know what I mean? Like, is it their overall play, I guess, here with Paul George, where he's going to be on a contending team again, where Scotty Barnes and Lowry are going to be on teams that are going to be in the lottery most likely, and their numbers are going to be gaudy. It's kind of like that Kuzma conversation we had.
Yep.
Like, do you think that how high can they climb? How low will Paul George? You know what I mean? This season.
I would say for me, Paul George, I think playing in the playoffs means more than those guys unless we see like an insane jump. Like Scotty Barnes, for me, like it was always that competition of like Scotty and Franz were like 1A, 1B in that draft class, kind of going back and forth. And I don't know that there's like a massive difference. There was just that shooting drop off from Franz and that shooting explosion from Scotty Barnes. And it was just like, wow, that totally flipped up, in 1 year. And again, it's just 1 year. We'll see what happens. But I think that like I just see the all around game from Scotty. Like he has the versatility to play across the board, to do everything. And that's kind of what, like, that's literally what we're asking from our small forwards. We're asking Devin Booker to do everything. We're asking Jaylen Brown to do everything. Kawhi Leonard to do everything. Jimmy Butler to do everything. Paul George to do everything. That's the theme. And I don't know that Lauri Markkanen is a creator in the same way. And again, I know empty stats right now on a team that doesn't want to win. So Lowry's, I could care less. I think Scotty Barnes has a different it factor because he actually plays really good defense at times. I think his switchability matters. That's. I think he's got the highest top end out of like the guys in this section left, like that 6 through 10 range, by far. And like I would even slide in like Franz Wagner in that same like, that would be the second guy. MPJ is just probably one of the best. We've got a 6'10" guy who can launch threes like a turret. Like it's just good. He's a really good rebounder. Now that he tries again, like it's great. His back seemingly, knock on wood, is going to be solid again. So I think that his is more respect for like, hey, you had your finals run, you played well, you backed it up, got better the next year still. And we're curious to see if he can take another step as Aaron Gordon kind of falls off as far as scoring. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But I just think that, yeah, for me, I'm looking at Scotty Barnes being the guy who can make the jump. But if Paul George is like a number 2 guy on a finals run,
3.
You say 3, playoffs happen.
Yeah, and who's been the best playoff performer on the Sixers the last 2 years? I'll wait.
James Harden.
That was not. No, it was Tyrese Maxey. Actually, Joel Embiid was great last year, but Tyrese Maxey is
Ricky
that guy.
Council.
Say
If Paul, he didn't play, but
he's gonna ball out this year though.
I love that. If Paul George, I'll say I don't want to like extend the Sixers talk because I know I have a tendency to do that, but like he's going to be the third guy and asked to connect with Embiid and Maxey in lineups, right? He's going to have some ball handling duty, but not a ton. His defense isn't as great as it used to be. I think Clipper fans overrate the drop off, and I think Sixers fans underrate the drop off. You know what I mean? I think there's a nice middle ground where he can guard the second or third option okay and play passing lanes really well. That's probably what we're going to look at with him, right? He's not going to be your guy in OKC where he was literally just strapping everybody up before turning the ball over. I agree with you. I love Scotty Barnes. I think he's absolutely fantastic. Ricky, I'll touch to you because I believe you were the person who had MPJ the highest. No, actually, Dave had
Yeah.
MPJ at 7.
I had him at
You
10.
had him at you had him at 10. I had him at 15. So I guess what is your outlook on MPJ this year? Another healthy year. What do you expect? Is there I would assume you're probably gonna say more of the same, but is there anything different that
Consistency. Like, it's
yeah.
all like with him again too. You mentioned like you're talking about the back problems, and of course, like the 2021-2022 year was the year where he only played 9 games and was out
Mhm.
for most of it. But like, he's someone that, like, yes, he's a starter, but like he's on such a good team with such a great facilitator, not at the point guard position, that it's like it's not even a knock to him. Just sometimes stand in the corner and just wait for Jokic to get you the ball. Just
Yeah.
knock it down. It's literally
Yeah.
the bare minimum he has to do.
And you got to remember, I mean, the playoff run last year, he marked the Lakers.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
they absolutely had
Made
no
a lot
answer
of money
for him.
off MPJ last year in the playoffs.
Yep. And then unfortunately, Minnesota clamped him the.
Yeah, then I stopped
like-
making money off of him.
If you want to believe that Minnesota was just built single-handedly to destroy Denver's
They were.
day, they were,
And
they
then
did
And then what did they do? They traded away the recipe to stopping Denver because they
because
made
Denver's no longer the problem.
no, because their owner didn't sell and now they have to cut salary long term.
I think they might be thinking there's a bigger dog in the house.
OKC, yeah, but Julius Randle doesn't help you with OKC.
I don't think Cat
I don't,
helps
but
with OKC either.
yeah, but that's what my point is. I don't think either
Yep.
of them do. I think the two people that we didn't touch on that we probably should is we didn't talk about Devin Booker and Jaylen Brown too much. I'll ask you, Ricky. Jaylen Brown coming off of Finals MVP, coming off of the Finals, the playoff run where he was the best performing Celtic. Like, do you think that transitions to the regular season now? Because Tatum's always kind of been, the guy, quote unquote. Do you think that? Do you think that Jaylen Brown can now overtake that? I guess.
What, the number one moniker on the Celtics?
Like, he is the Celtics guy. Like, you look at the
Yeah,
Celtics, you don't think
of
Jason Tatum,
course.
you think Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, of course. And the reason why I say that is Jason Tatum, to me, it's like he's good, but I don't know. I kind of like, personally, I like Brown better. And I think
Yeah.
it comes with all the, like, Tatum's good, but you got a lot of clownish stuff, a lot of cringy stuff that goes on with Jason Tatum, that it's going to be like, you know what? He's the number 2. Brown, you can be the number 1. You're the one that the fans like more.
He's gonna start texting Kobe.
Yeah, that was only the
God.
beginning of it. Then he tried to be Kevin Garnett, which he's not.
Oh man,
Jason Tatum feels like he's trying to make a Hallmark movie out of his life. And
so good.
Don't people usually get beat?
We'll talk about
up
him
in
next
those
segment.
movies?
So try to keep it centered on Jaylen Brown.
I
Like,
was
what
gonna
does
say,
he need
don't
to do?
people get like horrifically beat up in those movies? Hallmark
I mean,
movies.
that's every movie.
overcoming adversity. What are you talking about?
Anything is
Yeah,
possible with a
fists in
super
your
team.
face.
Jaylen Brown is gonna have that fight in him because he didn't make the Olympic team.
That dog
Yeah.
in him.
I remember even during the playoffs
But-
last year, we always joked about, like
Mhm.
Jaylen Brown is the better, player, and like I forget what it was because there was something going around like, and he's not the right one or something like. But yeah, it was always just he showed up when they needed him, and Jason Tatum,
Touch and
he's
go.
very good. He's very good,
Touch-
but he does different things for the team. I think that's the crazy thing is their roles have evolved so much over the years, and like that's again same with Devin Booker. Like his role has evolved so much. He went from being, a score-only chucker on one of the worst Suns teams in purgatory to being a point guard to then transitioning, like learning from Chris Paul and kind of moving over even further. Now we've got like him as a part-time point guard, but also he has to manage like Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal and somehow make that team work. It's just he is in a very challenging role, but he is so good. And I think the Suns' success, if they're anywhere close to healthy, that team's gonna cruise.
Mhm.
Agreed. I'll ask you guys anything you want to touch on 1 through 10 that we have not talked about yet.
Larry Markin's fraud.
One last point I want to say opposite of that is we're talking about the Kawhi stuff. If Lowry has a year like he had not last year but the year before, just a little bit better, there's a possibility he's ranked above Kawhi next year.
Yeah, I think my hot take would be that Franz can jump into the top 5 next year.
Top 5, not even top 10.
Top 5. He should be already. In my mind, he already is top 10. I'm just saying that Franz can jump into the top 5 if he hits his real stride.
But Jake, these are cumulative rankings, bruh.
That's why I'm saying
Will you be cumulatively in the top 10 next year?
Hashtag not my top 10. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that Franz could, I think, definitely could be top 5 next year. It's at top echelon. But yeah, I think besides Dave saying that Lowry's a fraud, I think that was a pretty good episode of a small forward ranking.
Clown on Zach LaVine for his empty stats. Let's talk about some emptier stats.
Yeah, I'm sure throughout the season we will talk about the Jazz because they are, big contending team there.
55 games last year.
Can only play
the year before.
Where you're on, Dave.
But I'm just saying, if we got a guy who doesn't play all his games, you're making fun of Kawhi Leonard. He played 55 games last year. Played 66 games the year before.
Last year, but yeah. With Kawhi, the problem is the playoffs.
No, I'm saying Lowry. Those were Lowry's
okay.
game counts.
Yeah.
So, mirror.
Yeah, Lowry's just a better player, though.
Yeah.
But is he?
He just is.
Yeah.
And I know you won't admit it because you traded him. Just like you won't.
No, players get better when they leave us. Don't get me wrong.
Just like you won't give up on Patrick Williams, which we will discuss in our power forward rankings. That's what will be coming out on Thursday after this video drops on Tuesday.
Don't give up on him.
Yeah, I put him top 10. How are they going to? Of course.
Once again, down below in the description, the Patreon down below. You can watch these recordings live. We'll be doing some additional content as the season rolls on as well. Discord is also down below. Join free community. The NBA season is starting under 3 weeks now. By the time this episode goes up, it'll be like a week and 3/4 or 2 weeks, basically, until the season starts. So we're closing in on the NBA season. Again, if you've watched all the way through, please consider leaving a like down below, hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell so you get notified, or like Ricky said one time, notificated whenever we
notifications, dude. I get those notifications.
Whenever we go live, which will be happening when we get into draft season and stuff, that Dave and I get bored, that'll probably be happening. And then, also with our NBA content, there, assume we'll be doing some live content with our NBA shows. So please, again, join the community down below. Leave a comment, and whether it's positive or negative, whether you think we're smart or stupid, doesn't matter. Because we take all feedback in. But we do appreciate you if you made it this far through the video. We ramble on a lot. So check out already posted our point guard and shooting guard videos. Power forward will be going up later this week, and then the following week you'll have our team predictions along with our actual seasonal predictions. So again, leave everything down below. Leave a comment, please, and we will see you in the next video.
As always, we'd like to thank the people that make these videos possible, our patrons whose names are displayed on the screen now. If you would like to become a patron, go ahead and click the Patreon icon in the bottom right. And if you'd like to check out another video from MVP Sports, hit the video in the upper left. As always, thanks for watching.